There's a version of you that people have already decided about, not from something you said, not from something you did once, but from a pattern so consistent, so predictable, so utterly reliable that the people around you no longer think about you consciously at all. You have become background. You have become assumed. You have become the person everyone counts on precisely because they know, without any doubt, that you will never surprise them. And that certainty, that complete and total certainty about who you are and what you will do, is quietly costing you more respect than you know. Here is the uncomfortable psychology of it. Respect and predictability exist in an inverse relationship. The more predictable you are, the less psychological weight you carry in the minds of the people around you. Not because you are bad, not because you are weak, but because the human brain, by its very design, stops paying close attention to anything it has fully figured out. A lamp on the wall, the hum of traffic, the colleague who always says yes, the friend who always comes through, the partner who never pushes back. These things register as safe, as reliable as fine. And fine is the quietest form of invisible. This is what psychologists call the hedonic adaptation principle applied to people. The brain's default is to stop noticing what it has already categorized. And once you have been fully categorized as the person who will always accommodate, always agree, always be available, always show up without conditions, you stop being a person the world engages with consciously. You become furniture. Warm, useful, comfortable furniture, but furniture nonetheless. And the cruelest part of this is that the habits that put you in this position almost always began as virtues. You said yes because you were generous. You responded quickly because you were caring. You never pushed back because you valued peace. You were the easy one, the low-maintenance one, the one people could always count on. And somewhere along the way, those virtues calcified into a pattern. And the pattern became a box. And the box became your social identity. And now the world treats you not as a person with depth and edges and limits, but as a resource with unlimited supply. That box has a name. Psychologists and social researchers call it the pushover pattern. But what it actually is, underneath the language, is the accumulated consequence of never once making the people around you feel even the smallest uncertainty about what you will do next. And uncertainty, a very specific and very calibrated dose of it, is the invisible engine behind every form of social respect. Here is how you get out of the box, not by becoming cold, not by becoming difficult, not by performing some dramatic personality shift that confuses everyone around you, but by making 3 very specific, very deliberate changes to how you show up. And once you make them, the shift in how the world treats you will feel almost immediate. The first change: introduce strategic unpredictability. You have been saying yes for so long that the people in your life have stopped asking themselves whether you will say yes. It is simply assumed. Assumed in the planning, assumed in the dynamic, assumed in the way they even structure the request. They know the answer before the question leaves their mouth. And that knowledge, that absence of any uncertainty in their mind about your response, is exactly what makes your yes worthless. Here is the psychology behind this. Behavioral economists call it loss aversion. The human brain responds approximately twice as strongly to the possibility of losing something as it does to the pleasure of gaining it. When there is no possibility of a no, the yes produces almost no positive emotional response in the other person. It is expected. Expected things are invisible. But the moment a no becomes genuinely possible, a yes becomes a gift. Suddenly it carries weight. Suddenly it means something. Suddenly you carry weight. You do not need to say no often. You do not need to become difficult or unreliable. You need to say no once, clearly and without excessive apology, in a situation where everyone expected a yes. Not to punish anyone, not to make a point, but to reintroduce the one thing that the pushover pattern eliminated completely from your relationships: the genuine possibility that you have limits. And a person with genuine limits is a person the world starts treating with a care it was never forced to show you before. The second change: treat your time as the high-value currency it actually is. You answer in 2 seconds. You are always available. You respond before the other person has even fully registered that they sent the message. And the message that behavior sends, not to you but to them, is this: I had nothing more important happening than this. And nothing signals low value in the economy of social dynamics faster than absolute, unconditional availability. This is not about playing games. This is not about artificial delay for the sake of appearing busy. This is about aligning your behavior with a truth that is already true but that your habits have been actively hiding. Your time is finite. Your attention is finite. Your energy is finite. These are facts, and the way you respond to people should reflect those facts rather than contradict them. Research in behavioral psychology shows that perceived scarcity increases perceived value almost universally. This applies to objects, to opportunities, and to people. A person who is slightly harder to reach is a person whose attention, when given, feels like something. A person who is always immediately available becomes, over time, a background hum. Ever present, never considered, never truly valued. You are not going to become unresponsive. You are going to become appropriately responsive. You are going to let the actual demands of your actual life create a natural delay in your availability. You are going to let people wait, not because you are playing a game, but because you are living a life that has things in it more important than signaling your permanent accessibility to everyone who reaches out. Let your attention be something worth waiting for. Because right now, you have been giving it away so freely and so fast that no one has ever had the experience of actually wanting it. The third change: develop exit power. This is the deepest one, and the most transformative. There is a psychological law that runs beneath every human interaction, every negotiation, every relationship, every room you walk into. Whoever needs the situation the least has the most power in it. Read that again. Whoever needs the situation the least has the most power in it. This is not callousness. This is not detachment. This is the recognition that the degree to which you need a specific outcome, a specific person's approval, a specific room's validation, a specific relationship to stay exactly as it is the degree to which you will compromise yourself to protect it. And the world, consciously or not, can feel your need. It reads your need, and it responds to your need by taking exactly as much as your need will allow it to take. Exit power does not mean being willing to walk away from everything carelessly. It means doing the internal work of genuinely building a life full enough, a sense of self secure enough, that no single relationship or situation holds you hostage. It means developing real options, real skills, real inner resources, so that when you show up in a conversation, in a negotiation, in a relationship, you are there because you genuinely want to be, not because you are afraid of what happens if you leave. And the shift that happens when you carry that energy is almost alchemical, because people feel the difference between someone who is staying because they have nowhere else to go and someone who is staying because they have chosen to be here, out of all the places they could be. The second person commands a completely different quality of respect. Not fear, respect. The kind that comes from the genuine recognition that this person's presence is a choice, and choices can be unmade. Now here is the truth that runs underneath all three of these changes, and the one that actually matters most. None of this is about becoming less kind. None of it is about performing coldness or manufacturing distance or engineering some version of yourself that is harder to reach in order to seem more valuable. The changes being described here are about closing the gap between who you actually are and how you are currently allowing yourself to be treated. You already have limits. You have just been ignoring them. You already have a life that demands your time. You have just been pretending it does not. You already have the capacity to walk away from things that do not serve you. You have just never let yourself believe that you were allowed to. The world does not respect you less because of who you are. It takes you for granted because of what you have been allowing. And that is a completely different problem, because what you allow can be changed the moment you decide to change it. Not gradually, not eventually, today, in the next conversation, in the next request that lands in your direction, in the next moment where the old pattern would have produced the automatic yes, the instant response, the accommodating nod. That moment is a door, And on the other side of it is a version of you that the world has not yet met. A version of you that is warmer and more generous in the moments that matter precisely, because you have stopped giving yourself away in the moments that do not. The world will treat you exactly as well as you teach it to. And the lesson starts the next time someone assumes they already know what you are going to do. Surprise them gently, firmly, and just once. That is all it takes to begin.